Mechwarrior Online's first patch of the year just hit, guys, and that means, of course, that we together will check out what is in store for us. A little bit of a small preview beforehand, but in this video, we're going to talk about what's happening in the patch, and we're also going to talk about a couple of example builds for those new mechs in this January patch. Now then, what do we have in the patch? We have a new booster pack. We've got weapon adjustments, mech adjustments, quirk adjustments, bug and map fixes, and more. There will also be a 2-week in-game patch science sale with all the mechs that will be receiving some balance changes. There's also a Mechwarrior Online community update that I will be talking about in a separate video where we talk about what's happening with PGI and the Mechwarrior 5/Mechwarrior Online teams. Now then, first this month is going to be the Wolf Dragoons booster pack. Is it Wolf Dragoons or Wolf's Dragoons? Shouldn't it be Wolf's Dragoons? Or is it the Clan Wolf Dragoons? I'm not sure here. Not sure. Maybe you guys can help me. I think there should be an apostrophe S there. In any case, we get a new Flea, a new Archer, new Stalker, and a new Nightstar, and these are all Inner Sphere battle mechs that have clan technology. So, let's go through them real quick. As the base models, the Clan Archer will have ECM capability and will be equipped with, what is that? 2 ER Larges, 2 small pulse lasers, and 2 LM20 Artemis plus AMS, using a standard engine, and Clan double heatsinks. Its quirks are going to be missile cooldown 10%, missile range 10%, and some extra armor throughout the mech, plus ECM target range reduction 27%. So this thing will be a lot more quote-unquote stealthy than your regular garden variety ECM. Then we've got the Clan Flea. I'm just going to zoom in a little bit here. The Clan Flea is going to come with a Clan XL engine 170. Going to have a flamer, 2 ER mediums, and 2 SRM 6s. Its quirks are extra SRM armor capacity, plus some extra armor throughout the mech. There's also something in the operations area, but it was, unfortunately, cut off. So, can't see that right now, but we will see that in-game. Then we have the Clan Nightstar. That thing comes equipped with a Clan XL 300, a jump jet in the CT side torsos as well, 2 Gauss rifles, 3 large pulse lasers, and an ER small laser as the weapon systems. As quirks, it gets 10% ultra-hurricane velocity, and Clan Pulse Laser Heat Skill limit +1, and of course this pertains to the large pulse lasers here, because anywhere else this whole quirk would not make any sense, because you don't have enough hardpoints to even touch any other heat skill limits. So this should actually have been Clan Large Pulse Laser Heat Skill limit +1, but whatever. It doesn't get extra armor bonus, instead it gets a little bit of structure bonus throughout the mech, and I don't see any anti-crit in here as well, so this is going to be not as durable as the Inner Sphere standard variants, I feel. Then, we got the Clan Stalker. This thing comes equipped with a standard 255 as the basis. We'll have Clan double heatsinks in there. You've got 2 LRM20s, 2 Streak 6s, 2 large pulse lasers, and 4 ER mediums. The quirks are going to be missile cooldown and missile spread, plus some extra structure for survival. If you're thinking, well, these mechs don't sound like they're quirked out of the wazoo, yes, and the reason is because they have access to Clan Tech, which is quirked out of the wazoo in its own way. So, does that mean it's gonna stay that way? No. Those quirks might change, of course, with the next patch, but for now, we'll have to see how it goes. And later on, after we're through the rest of the patch, I'm gonna show you guys a example build for each of those. I'm gonna do that live. I have no idea what's in them. I have no previous testing knowledge of those mechs. I'm just going to click together a couple of builds that I think will work for you guys, so each mech of these has a build that you guys can try out. Map changes and fixes. Let's see. Alpine Peaks got conquest cap points removed and conquest spawn points moved. Okay. How about this, PGI? This is just an idea. Remove the assault and skirmish modes for Alpine Peaks. Have it conquest cap points or domination zone. Everything else goes. Because that way you get rid of these weird spawns and those huge sniper spawns, and at least you get a small fight in the southern area of the map or in the western area of the map, which is much more enjoyable. Just remove Skirmish and Assault for Alpine Peaks. Yeah, if you don't want to remove the map, just remove those 2 game modes. Lufien, there were a couple of bugs where you could see through solid cover or water. Those have been fixed, especially when people were clipping cockpits through objects. The cursor from Luthien voting screen images is removed. Okay. Luthien out of bounds markers have been updated. Stuck point on Grim Plexus, Luthien, and HPG manifold were fixed. New Mech information. I got this wrong in my last video. I said that the Fire Month was coming in January, but yes, it was originally scheduled for January, but it looks like we will be getting it in February because they have to do some more polishing touches on the mech. So, technically I was correct, but also incorrect, but thankfully Tios posted an update on that on my video. So, Fire Moth in the February patch. And there will be sneak peeks, of course, on the Cauldron Discord server, and I have the Cauldron Leaks channel tied into my Mechwarrior Online channel on my Discord, so anything they post there will also be posted into my Discord as well. Store updates. The tournament supporter mechs that were available a couple of months ago are now released for C-Builds. So, Atlas 7M, that's the Mask Atlas. C-Builds. Cicada M, C-Builds. Zeus M, C-Builds, and the King Crab Argent Hero Mech is now available for MC. If you were asking which ones of these are good, I would say the strongest are definitely the Atlas and the Argent. The Zeus is woefully underquirked. It's kind of cool, but it's woefully underquirked and has never been quirked again after the initial release, which was a couple months ago, so that's kind of sad. The Cicada is alright. The Zeus, it's not bad, but it's underquirked for what it is. The Zeus is always in a weird spot, so that thing needs, in my opinion, a Cauldron revisit, because nobody's playing that thing right now anymore. MWO Comp 2024 is through. Vigilance 1. And if you played Comp Championship Series, the Comp Q Finals, or the people that were on the MWO Comp support staff, those rewards are now in the accounts. For example, I just got 2 mechs as well. Moving on from Comp to weapon changes. As I already mentioned in the preview, the medium pulse lasers and clan medium pulse lasers get reduced in heat a tiny bit. Clan noticeably actually getting a better buff here than in a sphere. Clan SM4 heat penalty limit is now at 6, so if you're firing 6 Clan SM4s, that applies heat penalty. So you can shoot 5 SM4s at the same time without incurring ghost heat. Now we get into mech stat changes. The General Oxide has had its acceleration and deceleration increased. Deceleration a tiny bit, acceleration increased by about, what was that, 9 to 10%. Also turn rate increased by another 10%. And the Trebuchet 7k torso twist speed has been increased to 189 degrees per second yaw and 135 pitch, so this thing is gonna be quite mobile in the torso now. Mech quirk changes. Ah yes, our favorite topic. The Generals get 10% mech top speed and 50% missile ammo per ton bonus. That is nice, that is needed. Because Generals on the Innisphere side was always a little bit weird compared to the clan side, so this is a nice buff. Vindicator 5L gets a nerf to its heat and jump jet thrust. This is, I think, believe the Loyalty Vindicator, if I'm not completely mistaken, which was a really good mech, so this is a big nerf to its capability to fight with its laser loadouts. And also jump jet thrust. A reduction means that you might have to equip 1 or 2 more hits, not heat sinks, jump jets, of course. Hunchback, the 4G, that's of course the AC-20 Hunchback. Right torso armor bonus, plus 40. Crit chance receiving, 50%. Ballistic range, energy range and ballistic cooldown have been removed. Energy heat has been removed. Gets flat 15% range now. And flat 15% cooldown, so that is just consolidating these into one. The only thing that is a tiny nerf here is the energy heat removal, but I would say that's not a big deal. Hunchback 4H. Energy cooldown, ballistic cooldown get steamed down into just flat cooldown, 15% heat, and they also gave it the 50% critical hit chance receiving reduction and increased the right torso armor bonus as well. Gridiron, same story. Yeah, this is just removing the specific cooldowns and just consolidating it into flat 20% cooldown plus crit chance. Nice. Trebuchets, all variants excluding the 7M get an extra 5 CT armor. 7M has the missile velocity unfortunately removed. 3C gets a flat 20% cooldown and 10% back top speed. The Trebuchet 5N has its missile velocity and energy range removed. Instead, it gets 35% Thundercock range and 35% Thundercock velocity. So, if you want to torment TTB, this is probably a good mech to try out now. The 5J gets standard laser duration, 50% now, up from 20%. So this thing is gonna have mighty quick burns on the standard lasers. The 7K gets 30% weapon velocity, up from 20%. And Le Loup de Guerre, the hero mech, gets 25% weapon velocity added. Nice. All Enforcers get 6 structure bonus on all components. That's just basically 1 medium laser hit, to put it in context. The Enforcer 5 Delta, 5% more cooldown, 10% more laser duration reduction, and 20% LBX spread. 4R gets 10% laser duration. The 4P, energy range and torso structure bonuses are removed. Instead, they get armor bonuses, 20 CT armor bonus, 19 left torso and right torso armor bonus, okay, and 10% flat range. The 5P adjusted existing 100% armor per ton boosts according to the current base armor per ton counts, okay. UX jam chance reduction 40%, up from 30, and we have 15% extra energy range. So, a couple of nice changes to the Enforcers, definitely worth a revisit, I would say. Then we have the champions right here, and for the champions, champion 1N, they removed SRM range, missile heat, laser duration, and ballistic cooldown. Instead, it gets flat 20% cooldown, up from 10%, and flat 15% heat. Okay, this appears to be the patch of the champion. Champion 2N, 5% heat removed, AC ammo per ton bonus added, 50% UX ammo per ton bonus added, 30% UX jam chance, 30% UX jam duration, and 10% UX heat. So UX 10s, UX 20s on the champion 2N, very tempting now. Champion 3N, missile spread and ER and standard medium laser range removed. Instead, it's getting flat 10% laser range and 10% laser heat. The 1N2 has had its LBX spread removed, ballistic cooldown, missile spread all removed. Instead, it gets 35% LBX cooldown, 20% weapon spread, and 15% flat cooldown. Okay. The 1NB gets the laser range and cooldown for the 82s removed. Instead, it gets 20% standard autocannon cooldown. So, if you were doing like an AC2 large laser long range build, now this is going to be even stronger. The champion Apache reduced rotary autocannon rate of fire to 15% from 25%, so that is a 10% rate of fire nerf. Sultan NB might have had something to do with that, unfortunately. Thankfully, we got our matches in before the nerf happened, but it's 10% rate of fire. Will you notice that? If it's multiple, maybe, but if it's multiple Apaches shooting you, you've got different problems than 10% more or less rate of fire. But it is a nerf. The Mad Cats. Mad Cat 2 gets a 10% ER laser cooldown removed. Instead, it gets flat energy cooldown. So that will now work on ER PPCs and plasmas, for example. The Mad Cat 4. Same story, laser cooldown and ER laser duration removed. Instead, it's flat energy cooldown and flat laser duration. Mad Cat Alpha, laser heat becomes flat heat. Ballistic cooldown increased to minus 25% and 10% weapon spread added. Definitely worth a revisit. Mad Cat Bravo, that's the one with the Dakar arms. 5% energy cooldown instead of 5% ER laser cooldown, okay. So nothing crazy going on there. Corsair 5T, extra 5% heat and 10% weapon velocity. The Executioner Delta in the set of 8 gets 5% heat, removal of the 5% pulse laser heat, Added 15% missile velocity, and torso yaw and pitch speeds increased. Okay, whatever. Bane 4, ballistic heat skill limit +2, up from +1. The Bane 4, to my knowledge, only has 2 weapon mounts for that, so maybe this is so it doesn't cut into the EIPPC/ballistic limit if you shoot 2 Gauss rifles and a PPC or 2 Hags and a PPC. That's probably why that is happening, so we'll definitely try that one out as well. So, that is the patch overview. Now, like I promised, guys, let's go into our 4 Wolf Dragoons mechs that were provided by PGI to me, and let's check out those loadouts in game and let's get a build for you guys going. So let's jump over. Let's start with the light mech. Where are you hiding, little Flea? This one? No, that's not it. Maybe it's hiding in a different spot. You know what? If I search for clan mechs, it should show up. There we go. It's hiding in a different spot. It's under clan Flea. So it's under clan Flea, not Flea. So it's under C. All right, we found the little guy. Fleas are cute. That's one of you guys that is a total Flea enjoyer. Every single time he sees fleas in the game, in my videos, he comments. Alright, so, quirks. Let's see. Just SRM ammo capacity. Okay. Less overheat damage and 68% radar derp. Oh, that is nice. You can get some pretty nifty radar derp on this one. Okay, how would we build this? I would throw out the flamer. Let's see. It already has ferrofibers and endosteel. Doesn't get access to mask. I mean, it really depends on how you want to play it. It really depends on how you want to play it. First and foremost, of course, as always, armor up front is what I always recommend. Just don't get hit by an airstrike, that would be painful. You could do something like so. Here are mediums. Maybe get the speed up to an XL 180. Oops. Misclick. Nobody saw that. So something like that, shooting 4 ER mediums, should run fairly cool. Should run fairly cool. Another option, I mean, it's just a Flea, right? You have, yeah, you're limited, right? If you're looking at SRMs, if you go with 2 SRM6, we need this heatsink, not necessarily. How many do we need? We need 3 heatsinks. Okay. So, we could go with 3 SRM6. And we get extra ammo per ton bonus, right? How much is that? That's not that much. It's just a tiny bit. It's like a 25% ammo bonus, okay? So it's not that much. What I'm thinking here is maybe go with a melee Flea. Maybe not even SRM6. We'll check it out in a second. Let's say you want to go ER small lasers. Right? And then we do SRM4s. 3 SRM4s. And 2 tons of ammo for the SRM4s. Like so. We get 44 firepower. And that is how many rounds? That's 300 SRMs plus whatever you get from the skill tree. That should be plenty. Or you lower this engine size. That way you can get another 1.5 tons, actually. And that will keep you going. Hang on. If you do that though, however, you'll just get a half ton because you have to add another heatsink then. So that would be 2.5 tons of ammo. I think this would be pretty viable. So this is probably the build that I would try out. I just clicked save, that might have been a mistake. Save the build here. Okay. The next mech is gonna be our archer. Let me guess, on the clan archer, not on the archer, right? So C. You guys have probably already seen it. I'm still looking for it. Clan archer. Here we go. All right. By the way, you guys are probably wondering about the warhorn, right? I think there was a warhorn in there. Probably Wolf's Dragoons warhorn or something like that. Let's see. Wolf Dragoons warhorn. Sounds very similar to the other clan wolf warhorns that we had before. Yeah, it's very similar to the existing clan wolf warhorn. That's, I would say, a little bit of a letdown. Like, I don't dislike the warhorn. I don't dislike the warhorn per se, but it's a little bit like with like an echo or something. But definitely disappointing as far as warhorns are concerned, in my opinion. Not because it's bad, but because it's already exists in a very similar way. All right, so let's go ahead and outfit this archer. By the way, I'm looking at quirks here to try and see what we can improve, but don't fall into the trap of just looking at the quirks and just building for the quirks. A lot of people do that. Don't do that. We get ECM target range reduction. That's nice because we're going to be using ECM anyways, right? And then missile cooldown and missile range. So, I mean, this could be a nice brawler, maybe. As always, the first thing I'm going to do is just get down with the armor on the back and put it up front. And I want to do this slow, guys, so you can just see how I'm thinking how I'm building my mechs. Engine-wise, I mean, it's a clan mech, right? So we could go pretty fast, actually. XL340, going 80 kph with that thing. We have the we could go beam lasers. I mean, it doesn't do much for us, unfortunately, but beam lasers are an option. We could do could go plasmas and SM6 Artemis. Let's see how that would look like. So here's our SM6 Artemis. For that, we would want to run at least 6 tons of ammo, I would say. Okay. And then add triple plasma cannons. Gets us to a 63 alpha strike. And then you just add more cooling. Not quite though. I drop ferrofibers though. That doesn't help us. Would look like that. Huh. Okay. I'm liking where this is going, but it's not perfect yet. Liking where this is going though. This is definitely an option. Would it be super high damage? No. I think if you want to go super high damage with this, you could turn it into an ATM boat, but you wouldn't have access to jump jets. So you could do like 4 ATM 9s or 4 ATM 12s maybe even. You could go with an LRM build, of course, but I mean, you know my stance on LRMs, not the biggest fan, so that's why we're not doing it. Another option would be, instead of plasmas, to go with a different approach here. A laser vomit approach. So if I have 2 heavy larges here and 2 ear mediums here. Not quite. Can we fit this even? We could fit it, but I think it would be way too hot. But we would do almost 100 damage alpha. So the way you would play this is you do alpha strike and then you just keep shooting the SRMs at closer range, or at longer range is just the lasers. That is a weird kind of bracket build that I think could work. It could work. It could work. But the problem is we leave 1 ton on the playing field that we can't do anything with. Which is once again a problem. I think you just have to tone down the engine a little bit. And then go like to a 325. That's probably the safest option right here. Then snap off a little bit here. Just add one more double heatsink. Or just go no Artemis and just add more double heatsinks. It's like 1, 2. You could add 2 more double heatsinks instead of that, but this should probably work. I think this is gonna work. Like in my book, this is gonna work. Or you could just go for Silent Engine. Silent Engine is also an option. Would keep you from getting side torsoed, but for standard, you would have to bring ferrofibers again. You would go down in speed by quite a bit. But let's see how high we can get. Actually, no, we could go to 295. 295. That wouldn't be too bad. That would definitely be usable. We drop a ton of ammo. Get up to the 300. That's also possible. Like I said, if you don't use Artemis right here, it becomes even more interesting. But let's say you stay on the XL path because you want the speed for the brawler. Then I would say this is probably. You know what? Let's just have 5 tons of ammo. That should be plenty. Could even just be 4 tons of ammo, and you just use your laser burn first and foremost, and then as you get closer, you add in the SRMs. I think this is gonna work. We'll definitely try that one out. I don't want to spend too much time because we have 2 more mechs to look at: the Stalker and the Nightstar. So they're both gonna be next to each other, right? Because they both start with clan. Let's see. Charger, Clan Stalker, Clan Nightstar. Okay, let's do the Stalker first. Nice paint job, by the way. Alright, so the thing is, it's only quirked for missiles. But, guys, this is a Stalker. And if I know one thing that Stalkers do well, it's snipe. And we have access to Clan ER larges and single heat sinks with this. So, you know, I'm thinking this is probably one of the best builds you could do for this thing. 6 Clan ER larges. The question is just how much tonnage can we cram into this now? If we go for the 300 engine, could we go max size TC? Yes, we could. Would we then go double heatsinks or singles? I think you have to go doubles actually. You can't go singles, unfortunately. You need to fill the slots, right? And that means you need to use doubles. They gotta be more effective here. But you know what? This doesn't look bad. The only problem is we have a little bit of tonnage left, but we can fix that by turning up the engine to 305 or active probe, which is probably going to be better here, because the active probe is going to allow us to get the extra targeting time boost. So now we've got a massive TC Mark 7 in this thing and 6 Clan ER large lasers. So I think this is gonna be a super effective build in my book. If I wanted to move around some stuff, I would maybe just move one double heatsink over here so that's a symmetrical. Other than that, this looks good to me. This thing is gonna work like a charm. It's gonna have those super nice high mounts. Got done 3 weapon groups, weapon group 1, 2, and 3. Yeah, this thing is not gonna be fun to play against. Because the TC Mark 8 gets us 10% beam range boost, right? Plus skill tree, so these are gonna be going up to like 1000 almost. Okay, that is saved. Now is only the Nightstar remaining, and as always, guys, I can't say it enough. Armor up front. Get that safety thought out of your heads. You need the armor up front if you want to play this game properly. If you get shot in the back, you didn't pay attention, or your teammates didn't pay attention. But in any case, don't worry about it. If it happens, it happens. Sometimes it's gonna, at some time in this game, it's gonna rain and you're gonna get wet. Just accept it. It's gonna happen. Alright, so let's look at this. Clan XL300, we've got massive jump jets. I don't think we need that many, but it gets us a couple of cool bonuses, like for jumping, right? We could get this damage a lot higher though. Instead of using normal Gauss, let's see, 12 tons, Hack 30 is... I mean, if we go down in engine size or go down in jump jets, which is probably the play, you can go... Yeah. You can go for higher alpha airstrike if you want hack 30s, or if you want the better heat economy, then you go with the Gauss rifles. Of course, I'm gonna move our Gauss ammo into the arms. I mean, there's actually a point here. To crit pad our large pulses, because nobody's gonna shoot the arms on a Nightstar, right? So it's actually not a bad idea to have it here. The only question I would ask myself is if I would drop a heatsink here for a TC Mark 1 and another double heatsink. I think that's probably a good play. And we would also drop a little bit of the armor here and make sure that he's on the head component, because we don't want to get cockpit killed too easily. The Nightstar can quite easily get shot in the cockpit if you are same height or slightly below, because it's like angled like this, so it can be shot from here. So yeah, this is a solid build. We don't need the ES small laser, it doesn't serve any purpose in my opinion right here, so let's not have it. The Gauss ammo is plenty, that's like 30 rounds for each, so 60 rounds total. Should be absolutely fine. So this should work. This should work. This would have been interesting if it had other quirks, like ballistic quirks, like clan ballistic heat skill +1 for double UX20s. That would have been interesting. Unfortunately, it doesn't. It just has some 10% UX velocity, which is it's okay, I guess. But you would just have 2 UX10s on top of that, right? So would also still be interesting to play though. Doesn't have ECM, so that needs to be kept in mind. But yeah, I would just build it like this and try it out like this firsthand, and then see how the heat develops for the large pulses, because triple large pulses is gonna be quite a bit of heat, right? That is 27 heat for one shot. That is considerable. But thankfully the Gauss rifles don't really produce heat, so that's gonna keep it in check. So this will probably be my build here, and also once again nice paint job. Well, there you go, guys. That's my patch overview and a couple of builds for you guys. Some I did heavily modify, some I just did slightly modify, but these should get you guys going and give you the best chance of getting a couple of good matches in. Try them out. Let me know how it goes for you. Thank you so much, supporters. Couldn't do it without you. If you want to join Team TTB, check out the join button right here on YouTube, super thanks button in the comment section, or of course the links to Patreon or the merch store listed in the video description.